I'd heard you'd been appointed chief of surgery.
Oh my god, the second... Oh, dude, don't... This woman, dude. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to The Monster. Episode 3. Last time on Episode 2, let's just say Tenma, our main character boy, super depressed. It is what it is. Basically lost his research, or, well, didn't lose his research, but still, well, I don't know if you'd call her the love of his life, but, you know, fiancé, lost the fiancé, which, honestly, probably the best thing that's happened to him so far. The director, as well as some of the other doctors, have been found murdered. And honestly, I suspect, as I said last episode, that Tenma is going to be suspected, probably going to be the prime suspect, because he had no alibi, because he was passed out drunk in an alley. Where do we go from here? Honestly, I don't know. Let's get right into episode 3. Alright, I'm guessing that's the detective. Or, you know, someone coming to see or talk to him.
Sorry to bother you at this
Yep.
hour. We're here on official police business. Would you happen to be Dr. Tenma?
Can I help you?
Pardon my asking, but were you home all last night?
What? No, I was out drinking until dawn. Why do you ask?
Well, sir, Eisler Memorial Hospital's Director Heinemann, Chief of Surgery Dr. Oppenheim, and Dr. Boyer. They're all dead.
No one except the police are allowed to enter the scene.
A murder.
But you're interfering with the operation of this hospital.
Press is not allowed
We can't
inside.
have patients in this kind of chaos.
Can you tell us, please? Was it an accident or was it murder?
3 people died at the same time. Of course it was murder.
Are you part of the hospital staff?
Tell us, would you happen to know anything about this incident?
Out of my way! Let me through!
Hey, no one's allowed in.
I work here. I'm Dr. Kenzo Tenma.
Come on, step back. So, did you see anyone suspicious earlier tonight?
I'm sorry, sir, but I don't think this is the time to be...
Dr. Tenma!
True, I didn't even think about this, but the other two, other than the director, were killed inside the hospital, and seemingly around the same time. Or at least in the same night.
Dr. Tenma, the director and the
Doctor, calm down, everyone. Is the
Okay, why is she like, oh my god, Dr. Tenma, the director and the others, you know, like, it's not like you know them personally. You don't give a shit. Not really. You'd be like, oh my god, yeah, this is serious, holy shit, what the fuck happened? No, no fucking clue, dude. This is Jesus. A murderer was in our hospital and just killed 2 people. That's how you would react. I mean, just imagine being at your workplace and then you find your boss dead. Unless you have a very good relationship with your boss, in which case maybe you're a little sad, but you know,
Is the room running smoothly?
someone's just gonna take his place and nothing's gonna really be different.
Well, actually, we're swamped with emergency cases right now, Doctor. 2 patients are waiting to be operated on.
All right, then. I'll see what I can do.
Can you take care of the car accident victim with the brain contusion?
First, I'll go look over the x-rays. How about the other case?
The patient collapsed with a stroke.
Oh, doctor, I'd like to ask you a couple of questions.
I don't have time for this.
I understand, but this initial investigation is vital. Do you know of anyone who could have possibly held a grudge against the director and the others?
Yeah, me.
Grudge?
You have successfully tied the noose around your own neck, Tenma.
At this point, literally, the first thing I would say, even in his position, I would say me. And probably 7 other people in this hospital, you know, he wasn't exactly the most likable guy.
Doctor, did someone come to mind?
No. Sorry.
Dr. Tenma! Kids, the twins, the boy and the girl. They're gone, sir. We can't find them anywhere.
Ooh, that's interesting.
And is the little girl's bed empty as well, nurse?
I already checked, but they're both just gone.
What's going on? What the hell is going
Interesting.
on?
Interesting. Which means, most likely, whoever... I mean, the culprit. The culprit, right? He or she must have come for the children. But why kill the doctors? Maybe because they were the ones who came up with the idea to put them on the media? But I don't know. In any case, he must have come for the children. Or they... Nah, I don't think the children themselves would have left.
Hand to many who were ill and suffering. We will always remember his great accomplishments. Farewell, Dr. Heinemann. May you rest in peace. Amen.
Amen. Or as the woke people would say, a woman.
Ava, I know it's difficult, but please, try to hold yourself...
Or a woman.
Give me my father back! I want him back! I want him back!
This whole funeral business is just too sad, Dr. Tenma.
Yeah.
Up until now, she was fed with a silver spoon as the director's daughter. But now suddenly, she's just another ordinary person. That's gotta be quite a big shock.
How can you say that right now?
Sorry about that.
Dr. Tenma? I am Inspector Weisbach of the Nordheim-Westfalen Police Department.
Thank you for your
Inspector
efforts.
what now?
I am Inspector Lunge. I'm here from the BKA. I've heard about your amazing abilities, Doctor.
No, I still have a long ways to go. Do you have any leads at all to the children's whereabouts?
No, but we have determined the cause of death for the director and the other two.
Okay,
doctors.
that's good.
We have discovered traces of nitrate inside all three of their bodies.
So there were traces of nitrate? That's a muscle relaxant.
Exactly. I see you're not a doctor for nothing.
How could something like that end up in...
It was candy.
Huh? Candy?
It turned out candy wrap.
The fucking candy in the child's room. Interesting. Ooh, that's why they died. It was accidental, because the candy was sent to the child. And, I mean, I don't think anyone is this, or most people aren't disrespectful enough to steal candy from a baby, as they say. Or in this case, steal candy from a patient, because they coincidentally just stole from the child. They ended up dying for it. Which means that the culprit just wanted to kill the kid. I mean, that must have been the case. They heard that the child survived. Because, you know, I mentioned this, I think, in the first episode where I said that there's no way they intended to have the boy survive. Right? They shot him in the head. They 100% wanted the kid to die. So once they found out that he was still alive, probably was like, okay, can't exactly go into a hospital and shoot the place up, right? So next best thing, poison. But didn't figure that the hospital director, as well as some, some other doctors, would just steal the candy.
Was found beside each of the bodies. The same substance was also found in each of their stomachs. Tell me, would you have any idea where they might have gotten this candy? Or something else of that sort?
I wouldn't know where they got it from. If you don't mind me asking, how is the search for the twins going?
The BKA has taken over jurisdiction on this particular case from the local authorities. Please don't worry. First, their parents defect from East Germany and are murdered soon after that. Then staff from the hospital where the children were treated are also murdered. Political terrorism may be a possibility. Those children might hold a major key to this whole mystery.
They need protection. Please do your best to find them, Inspector.
We certainly will.
I mean, again, they draw him evil-looking.
Interesting. A Japanese doctor demoted by the director, and then his engagement with the director's daughter broken right before the incident.
But the man was in the bar drinking at the time the crime was committed. It checks out.
The fuck is wrong with this hand?
Mind if I ask you something? Why does your hand move like that?
Oh, this, I was just typing.
Huh?
I'm inputting all the information onto the hard drive in my head. And if I access the information... No, I still have a long ways to go. Dr. Tenma was actually quite modest about it when I commented on his well-recognized talents earlier.
Indeed.
The police, huh? What, are they thinking you're a suspect?
There's enough evidence to
Dude,
implicate me. Nothing I can do about it.
I'm not gonna lie, this fucking Becker guy, dude, like, why are you there constantly? He seems like that fucking underhanded douchebag character. Constantly smiling, putting on that, like, lighthearted, friendly face and, like, act, while at the same time constantly, like, giving backhanded and underhanded insults to everyone.
Oh, don't worry about it. They were persistent when they questioned me, too.
God, I'm so exhausted. Once this whole thing gets settled, I think I'm gonna go back to Japan.
Huh?
I came to Germany to do research, but with everything that's happened, I see again. The most important thing for a doctor is to save lives.
Come on. Don't get all depressed on me now.
Who's been depressed?
I'm just tired. So tired.
Say, Dr. Tenma?
Yes?
I heard that you were leaving this hospital. Is it true, Doctor? Don't quit. Please don't quit. Good doctors like you are so hard to find. Please stay. Please don't say you're quitting. Please.
Mr. Buchner.
Dr. Tenma, the chairman is asking for you.
I mean,
now he's in a meeting with the board discussing how to fill the open positions.
I understand his hesitancy, I guess. But in these cases, like, you gotta think about yourself, in my opinion. Like, just because some people want you to continue doing what you're doing, doesn't mean that it's the best for you. It's the best for them, because they like you. They want you to continue what you're doing, even if you don't like it. So it's selfish.
Dr. Tenma, hold on. No matter what the chairman says, please don't give up. I want you to know we're all behind you. So please, don't leave the hospital.
Oh. Notice. Have you noticed? Now there's two people that are already saying, please don't leave. Bear in mind, the only person he told this to, or at least as far as we know, is Dr. Becker, or Beckett, whatever his fucking name is. And 2 minutes later, everyone knows. I wonder why.
Let me say this again. I'm performance-oriented, and that's the reason I'm making you Chief of Surgery.
What a life. I went against the director's orders and lost my position as chief. Then my engagement to Ava is broken. And then as soon as I decide to work as a regular doctor without hope of ever being promoted. Oh God, what a life this is.
Oh, he could use some therapy. I don't know.
I'm sorry for calling you out of the
I mean, this, you know, I would say, like, you gotta find a hobby, dude. This is what happens when your entire life revolves around your work. Okay? Where's your hobby? What do you do on your off time? If you say researching your work, then it's like, no, dude, like, do something else. I have work, but, like, I also watch anime, I play games, I go cycling to work out. You know, it's been great. I might even start filming my little treks. But my point is that, you know, I have things that I do, different things, that relieve my stress.
I'd heard you'd been appointed Chief of Surgery.
Oh my God, the second... Oh, dude, don't... This woman, dude. I heard you've been appointed as Chief of Surgery. Oh my God. Can we get back together? Shut the fuck up. You can go suck a dick.
Happy for you.
Thank you, Ava.
Why...
Kenzo.
Why is he even entertaining this? Like, straight up. She broke up with you. Showed her fucking douchebag side. Her money-hungry, gold-digging, motherfucking looking ass side. You know how she is. Why are you even going out to coffee with her? Like, seriously, like, tell her to piss off.
That day at my father's funeral, I remember you were trying to comfort me, weren't you?
Oh, shut the fuck up.
It made me happy.
Mm-mm.
A lot of things
Fuck
happened
off.
between
Fuck
us,
off.
but I'd like to start over.
Mr. Kenzo Tenma. Pull out. Pull out. Yes, very good. A victory for all mankind. Men everywhere.
Kenzo! Listen, please, forgive me. I was wrong. Let's start
Shut your bitch ass up.
Kenzo?
I'm just gonna write.
Kenzo!
Get.
Patient is hospitalized
Fucked.
for a spinal cord tumor. His paralysis
Ava.
Make the arrangements for the procedure.
Right.
Wait. Did I miss something? Did it say, like, time skip or something?
Patient is hospitalized.
9 years later. Holy time skip. Holy.
His paralysis has
Okay.
accelerated.
I understand. I'll do the
9
operation myself.
Excellent, doctor. I'm glad to hear.
year
Make the arrangements for the procedure.
time skip.
I thought the world would change when the Berlin Wall came down 6 years ago.
1995.
Worse. It's true. They talk about a unified Europe, but we just keep getting dumped with the bad.
Yeah, the rate of unsolved crimes is definitely on the rise.
Inspector, we have arrived, sir.
In other words, I don't think they caught
Both victims had their
the
throats
murderer 9 years later.
Their identities.
Mr. and Mrs. Reichman from Stitch Drive. They were murdered in their home. We believe they were hidden away in a closet, but were washed out into the open because of the rising floodwaters. Another middle-aged couple murdered for greed. In the past 2 years, there have been 4 other similar cases across the country, all murdered the same way. Probably the same thief.
No. It's too premature to call these simple robberies. Judging from the data, for some reason none of these couples seem to have had any children.
Well, this couple didn't seem to have any children either.
Don't you think there are too many factors in common here to make the assumption this is just a simple robbery?
Well, sir, I'm just going by the fact that money and goods were taken from all the victims' homes.
It was, all of it totaling a small amount. Although this would make sense if it were the work of a single perpetrator.
Hold on, you're suggesting there's more than one?
2 of the homes in question had extremely strong locks and sophisticated alarm systems. But the perpetrator bypassed them and was able to enter without any trouble. Also, none of the couple showed any signs of struggle before they were killed, and the neighbors did not hear a single sound at the time the incident took place. Don't you think these were orchestrated all too well for just one suspect? Do you know this man?
No.
It's assumption.
Adolf Junkers, 32 years old. He's been
Theories.
arrested twice for larceny. In a robbery, he's the one who gets you through the front door.
Then he's got to be the man, right?
Or not. It's too early.
Well, Doctor, do tell. How was your
Oh my
day?
god, this guy.
Oh, well, she seemed like a nice girl.
Come on, Dr. Tenma, don't be coy. She's the daughter of a director. Don't tell me you just had dinner and saw her home.
Well, actually, there was an emergency call during dinner, so I had to come back to the hospital.
Hold on, you did what? You'd better rethink that all work and no play doctrine. You're gonna lose a great catch and regret it someday. Do you hear me? Hey, are you listening to a word
Why
I'm
does-
saying?
Well, why is he constantly dating, like, daughters of directors? You know, like, come on. Just find yourself a random, nice girl somewhere else. You know? This nurse seems... I think it's the same nurse, probably.
Good morning,
You know?
Doctor. How are you?
She seems nice.
My grandpa gave it to me, but it won't fly. I think it's broken.
Maybe the alignment needs to be adjusted.
Well, Doctor, do you know how to fly a kite?
When I was a kid back in Japan, I used to do this a lot.
And it explodes.
It's flying!
Shit.
All right.
Oh, man. If I were as smooth as that, I'd have at least 5 lovers. Hell, maybe even 10.
And back to the ER we go.
Today's the chief of surgery himself is heading up this one.
Brilliant operation. Just look at that. He's hardly retracted the brain at all.
He is truly a surgical genius.
This is terrible! An ambulance! Someone call an ambulance!
I didn't do it! This wasn't my fault! This guy ran into the street all of a sudden out of nowhere!
Is this the patient?
Yes.
How is he?
Well, we tried. But there isn't much we can do.
This man is a material witness in a case. It's important that we get his testimony since it may help us
Interesting.
solve string-
The second someone suspects him from the police, immediately he's seemingly hunted down because he was being chased by someone. So most likely his accomplice. It's very interesting because they have to have police information then. Whoever this culprit is, they have to have police information.
Real murders, Doctor. We can't have him die on us.
But Inspector, this patient is in very critical condition. Really, there's nothing else we can do for him here. However, there's a top-notch neurosurgeon at Eisler Memorial Hospital. If he comes here, he might be able to do something.
Neurosurgeon. That would be Dr. Tenma.
Thanks for coming all the way out here, Dr. Tenma.
Oh, yes, you were from the BKA.
Inspector Lunge. Please do be sure
The
to
Lunge.
perform a successful operation for the sake of the BKA. The thing is, Doctor, this patient has to survive. He holds the key to solving a very important case.
Well, Inspector, I don't operate for the sake of the police. I do it for the sake of the patient.
Fair enough, Doctor.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have an operation.
I hear you've become the chief of surgery. Well now, Doctor. You've certainly become very successful.
Yes, and what about it?
Nothing. At your age, it's quite an accomplishment. Aren't you next in line to become the director?
No, I still have a long way to go.
Those murders years ago at Eisler Memorial Hospital. Due to a lack of evidence, that investigation has seen very little progress. The only clue we found was the poison candy. This suggests it was a calculated act on the part of the killer. In that kind of crime, the killer always has something to gain from the victim's death.
What are you getting at, Inspector?
Nothing.
Something to gain. So did they never find the bag of candy? Are gifts to patients, are they like scanned? Are they checked beforehand? They have to be, right? To some degree anyway. And I don't think candy would be allowed for a patient. Unless maybe I'm wrong. I'm just thinking that patients, hospital, you're not supposed to be eating anything that is not hospital food most of the time, probably. Because you might have some sort of, problems with your digestive system. Point is, like, I would think all foods would be checked. Maybe not. I could be wrong, but I was thinking that if that is the case, it would need to be someone who is able to personally deliver the candy to the child's room. Someone who would have access, or at least be able to infiltrate, like a fully operational hospital. And maybe the rest of the bag of candy would have been evidence. So they would have to come and retrieve it. At least maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too deep into this, but like still.
Cases I've ever handled throughout my career, not one has gone unsolved. No, not a single one.
Well, I'm glad to hear it.
After the Eisler Memorial Hospital murders, no matter which way I looked at it, one person had everything to gain from the incident.
Yep.
And that is you, Dr. Tenma.
I mean, that's exactly what I said.
Thank you again for going to all this trouble, driving all this way.
No, don't worry. How is the patient responding?
Well, he is still conscious, but his right pupil does remain dilated. He's also got paralysis on the left side.
Listen, I think the police want to interrogate him as soon as possible, but that's out of the question.
But, Doctor, that Detective Lunge is a very persistent man.
Right now, the patient's recovery is all I'm worried about. Feeling Mr.
I have some
Junkers,
thoughts,
everything okay?
but I'll leave it after
So,
the reaction.
Tell me, Mr. Junkers, are you able to recognize me? Do you
Mr.
see
Who
this
now?
finger I'm holding up? How about it? Can you talk to me today? What did you say? Coming? Mr.
Come?
Junkers, what's coming?
The monster is coming. Coming? Coming?
Monsters coming.
The monster?
Roll credits! Yeah, I was not expecting, the 9-year time skip. Okay, I will say that. The children disappeared, which is interesting. And I'm guessing in the last 9 years, no one's heard of them. But I was gonna say, at the end here, even though the inspector is saying that, oh yes, Dr. Tenma had everything to gain, ultimately he had an alibi. A confirmed alibi. So, if we go based off of that logic of like, in crimes like these someone has something to gain, well, did the culprit kill them intending to help Tenma in his situation? Which I don't think that was the idea. I think, like I said earlier, I think they were just an accidental casualty. I think the culprit wanted to murder the boy with the candy. And then those two being complete dumbasses ate the candy. And that was it. You know, they got fucked. So I think that's a coincidence. I can't think of any reason why the culprit wouldn't want to help Tenma with his situation. I think it had to do with the children for some reason. And then we had... Where was this? After the time skip... right here, there was like two more bodies found or something, and they were talking about like none of the victims having children. So it's like, does it have something to do with children or not having children or something? And then you also have this hand thing that Inspector Lunge is having, right? Now he says that he's typing, and yeah, I kind of buy that, but now they've done this multiple times. They're like definitely bringing attention to the hand a lot. You had this other inspector asking about it. Then you had, in this moment, this guy also looking at his hand. While I buy the excuse of, ooh, I'm typing and memorizing, it could be just an excuse for something else. Just because he says that he's typing in his mind, I'm not gonna just immediately 100% believe this. So we'll keep this hand thing in mind. It seems like Tenma has definitely, I would say he's better, he's doing better. You know, he doesn't seem as super mega depressed anymore. It has been 9 years. He doesn't look that different though. Then we also have Mr. Becker? One of the two. This guy is still here, still being fucking annoying. Then we have the nurse as well. I'm guessing either this nurse is gonna be a fucking side character the entire story, or she's gonna be the main love interest. Cause she kind of always had the hots for Tenma, right? And now 9 years later, I mean, they're still working together, I guess. I'm guessing this is the same woman. She always seemed kind looking. But as someone who has seen mystery and murder mystery stories before, the culprit is usually the most unexpected person. And she's pretty high on that list. Either the nurse or Mr. Becker and Miss Mash. Those two are definitely big suspects. But yeah, ultimately, the second this guy gets suspected by the police, he immediately gets chased down, which tells me that the culprit has access to police information, or at least to some degree. Considering how evil looking this guy is and how much he seems to be chasing this case, I'm thinking this guy is gonna be the guy looks evil and kind of gives off this evil aura, but in reality is a good guy. So I'm going off of that kind of assumption. He's drawn kind of evil, but he's actually a good guy. But yeah, I think that's about everything that happened. I mean, the monster is coming. The monster is coming. I am super glad that he told Ava to piss off. You know, I wouldn't have been so kind. I would have been like, get the fuck out of my immediate vicinity. I do not require your services, you whore. And that's about it. We are in the year 1995. We're slowly like building up the case. More and more bodies are being found, presumably via the same murderer, the same serial killer. We shall see. And that was episode 3. I do hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. The monster is coming.